Many of the companies producing these products, they are listed in the stock market in Nigeria. By investing in these companies, you are not just spending money on their products, you are also profiting from the success. It is a win-win situation. Who wouldn't want to be in such situation? For me, I would want to be in such situation. Hello, welcome to the Nigerian Investors podcast, the unofficial podcast that tracks and reports on the activities of the Nigerian boss. My name is Moody, and with my colleague IE, we will be hosting this podcast. TNI podcast is dedicated to stimulating a renewed enthusiasm among the general population with regard to the activities of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Ultimately, the goal of TNI is to see that many Nigerians from all walks of life, both at home and in the diasporas, become active participants on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Before we go further, we would like to place on record TNI podcast is solely for educational purposes and not a replacement for professional financial advice. Let's begin. Hello, welcome to another episode of the Nigerian Investors podcast. My name is Moody. I'm your host, and I'm thrilled to have you join me as we embark on this journey of financial education and investment exploration. It's not oil exploration anyways, just investment exploration. It could involve oil exploration and all that. All right. On this episode, we'll discuss a topic that I believe holds tremendous potential for Nigerians looking to build wealth over the long term: the stock market. We will explore why investing in the stock market can be a reliable path to wealth creation if approached the right way. We will also examine some of the key reasons why many Nigerians have remained on the sideline, hesitant or unwilling to participate in this wealth building platform. Let's dive in. The Nigerian stock market provides a unique opportunity for everyday people to create wealth. By investing in some of the country's leading corporations, you gain the chance to share in their profits and benefit from their growth. Think about it. Companies like MTN, Dangote Cement, Airtel Africa, and others are at the heart of our daily lives. We depend on them on a daily basis, whether you like it or not. When you buy shares in these companies, you are essentially becoming a part owner. Every time they earn a profit, you get to share in that success, whether through dividends or an increase in the value of their stock. But here is the thing: timing and consistency are key if you want to be successful in the stock market. The earlier you start investing, the better your chances of growing your wealth. Why? Because there is a concept that we refer to as compound interest. This is the magic of earning returns on both your initial investment and the returns you've already made. Over time, the effects of compounding can be extraordinary, turning small, consistent investment into significant wealth. Unfortunately, many Nigerians are wary of the stock market. And the question is why? A major reason is the bitter memory of the 2008 market crash. Back then, many of us, including myself, got swept up in the stock market frenzy without fully understanding how it worked. It was the talk of the town. Everyone believed that all you had to do was buy stocks and your money would double in no time. We ignored the basics of research and risk management. And when the market crashed, many of us lost everything. It was a hard lesson, but a valuable one. That experience led to a widespread misconception that the stock market is a dangerous place where you are bound to lose your hard-earned money. But that is not true. The issue isn't the stock market itself. It is the lack of knowledge that is the problem. Investing without understanding the fundamentals is like going into a battle without knowing how to use a weapon. And it is a recipe for disaster. And that is where this podcast, the Nigerian Investors podcast, comes in. We are here to demystify the stock market and provide you with the knowledge you need to make informed decisions. Our goal is to break everything down into simple, actionable steps so you can confidently participate in the stock market and grow your wealth over time. We will do this by crafting topics that will be very relevant to investing in the stock market. We also endeavor to invite experts in the stock market to share their views on how to invest safely and build your wealth in the stock market. You don't need millions to start. One of the biggest myths about investing is that you need a lot of money to get started. That is simply not true. There are stocks in the Nigerian market priced as low as 1 naira. Yes, you heard that right, 1 naira. And there are reputable companies whose shares you can purchase for less than a naira. We have Kobo stocks in the Nigerian stock market. The most important thing is to start small, invest consistently. Over time, those small contributions can add up to something significant. Remember, the stock market is not about getting rich overnight. It is about building wealth gradually and sustainably. Consistency is the key. Let me share a personal lesson I've learned about consistency. After the 2008 crash, I decided to return to the stock market, but this time with a disciplined, consistent approach. I wasn't earning much, but I made it a point to invest regularly. Whether it was 200 naira, 500 naira, or 1000 naira, my plan was you have to be consistent. On a weekly basis, you have to invest any amount of money you're able to invest. And I was consistent with that because consistency is one of the most powerful tools you can use to grow your wealth. Even if you can only invest a small amount, doing it consistently over time can yield incredible results. And when you invest your returns like dividends, you allow compound interest to work its magic. The power of compound interest has been called the eighth wonder of the world, and for good reasons. It is the process of earning returns on your return. For example, if you invest 5,000 naira today and earn dividends on it, reinvesting those dividends will increase the amount you earn in the future. Initially, the growth might seem slow, but over time, it accelerates and could double and beyond that. The growth becomes exponential. It is all about discipline and patience. Another reason why you should start investing in the stock market in Nigeria is that if you look around, you will realize that the stock market is intricately connected to your everyday life. Think about the products you use daily, your toothpaste, the data subscription you're using to listen to this podcast or to watch this podcast on YouTube, the cement you use to build homes, or even the beverages you enjoy at a restaurant. Many of the companies producing these products, they are listed in the stock market in Nigeria. By investing in these companies, you are not just spending money on their products, you are also profiting from the success. It is a win-win situation. Who wouldn't want to be in such situation? For me, I would want to be in such situation. We want to make this episode to be very brief because it's more or less like a call to action. So I'm going to tell you this. The stock market is not just for the wealthy or for financial experts. It is for everyone who wants to build wealth consistently over time. But it all starts with knowledge. On this podcast, we're committed to giving you the tools and insights you need to navigate the stock market confidently. We will bring you weekly episodes packed with practical advice, expert insight, and real-world examples. I encourage you to subscribe to this podcast, follow us on social media, and engage with us. Share your questions, your experiences, and your thoughts. We're here to learn together. Thank you for joining me on this episode of the Nigerian Investors Podcast. Until next time, stay consistent, stay curious, and stay invested. Bye for now. Thank you for listening to another episode of the favorite podcast that brings insight to the Nigerian stock market. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. To get more episodes like this, follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, as well as on our website. All this information is available in the show note below this episode. Until we bring you another episode your way next week. Bye for now. TNI podcast is executive produced by Moody. This episode was edited by Rona at Rockwari Village Studio.